Well, thanks for taking the time. What part of the world you in right now? Looks like you're comfy at home.
I'm so comfy at home. I am slippered up and ready for some more sad songs today.
Oh, great. And home base for you is Issaquah, Washington, right?
Close, yeah, Sammamish. Both are suburbs of Seattle.
And Brian Simmel coming to town. You're playing Revolution Hall this Thursday. I love that venue. Have you played Revolution Hall, do you think? Do you remember?
No, I have not. I've played a bunch of Portland venues. Lucky to be so close growing up to visit shows there and then also play shows. So I'm excited to Rev Hall for the first time.
If you get a chance, go up to the rooftop deck. Great place for a drink and some really cool views up there on the rooftop. And
Love
you
that.
performed in our live studio not too long ago, and you put on as always, just a fantastic show. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. That was fun. That was a fun, memorable event.
So tell me about your plans for Thanksgiving. Are you doing the cooking? Will you be with family, or are you on the road?
You know what? We are one of those families that do sort of like multiple Thanksgivings
Yeah.
for various reasons. But it seems like every year we're like starting it earlier. So like our first Thanksgiving will be like next Saturday.
Oh
And
my
we'll just
gosh.
and then like the final Thanksgiving thing will be the following Saturday post Thanksgiving. So actual Thanksgiving is quite just chill at home.
Do you do any cooking, Brian?
I do cooking. We like try and so our family, no one in our family likes turkey. So it was
That's
like
my least favorite part of Thanksgiving. I agree. That's my least favorite part.
I think generationally we are changing the dishes of traditional Thanksgiving fare. So yeah, we do like smoked ham. We do like a couple. We try to mix it up with somebody tries to bring a new recipe every year.
I love that. The album is called "The Day My Father Died." I lost my dad a couple years ago, and I know it's particularly heartbreak. It's rough during the holidays. Are you prepared?
Oh my gosh, dude, am I prepared? I will say like
Can you prepare for something like no?
no, yeah, right. Like my we lost my dad in the colder months up here, right? So like every time it gets dreary, which is like, a good chunk of the year, it reminds me of that time. But there's also like a lot of like coziness that happened around then too, where we all got to be together, sort of like pandemic coziness, which was a weird time, right? Like when we could be in the same room together, which we did a
Yeah.
lot of during that time. So I'm reminded of that in good and hard ways at the same time. So yeah, as ready as I can be, I guess. How about you?
You know what's weird? I mean, like I said, it's probably been 4 years now, but there are times like I used to talk to my dad every Sunday. He lives in Atlanta. I'm here on the West Coast, and there are still Sundays where I think I'm gonna give dad a call. It's like, nope, that's gonna be super long distance. That's not gonna work. So the album, how did you channel the emotions you were feeling about the loss of your dad into music? How do you do that?
Well, yeah, it's one of those superhuman, not that I'm superhuman, but it's supernatural in the way of like you can tap into something in the ether and that's like when you write the songs, right? Which is different than when you're, at least for me, when you're recording them. So I experienced all that emotion and all that like sort of that journey mostly in the writing alone. And then taking those songs into the studio with Phil, the producer of the record. It was crazy, right? Because he had just had his first son like months earlier when I had lost my dad. So what a counterpoint to like be
Yeah.
created from. And I'd say mostly it was great. It was definitely hard at some points because at some points I was just like, why am I even here? Like, what's the point of this? Is this even important? Like, I need to go be with my family. But honestly, man, I mean, like, you could take a snapshot of anybody's life, and there's probably something pretty major going on that informs like their job, which is exactly what happened to me.
So if I have my information right, your dad worked for Boeing, right?
Yes.
So what did Mr. Boeing think when you told him you were going to pursue a very stable career in music?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I love when I get asked that. He from day one, man, I mean, since I can remember, he was all in on me being into music. I mean, till the day he died, he was still after I'd like, experienced some success, he was like, he didn't get it all the way. Like he understood why I did it, but he was just like, how is this making you any money? Like how is it? So he had this, obviously this corporate, side of most of his career. But towards the end of his career, he spent some time at the Gates Foundation and he spent some time at local nonprofits. Like that's where he kind of rounded out his pre-retirement. So he was in touch with, the world in a lot of great ways. Whereas maybe some fathers who are wrapped up in the corporate world might not have been.
You have 3 kids, is that right, Brian?
I got 3 kids.
Somebody told me your family is just so important to you. You refuse to be on tour any longer than 2 weeks at a time. Is that still your policy?
Man, yeah, I'd say that's still the policy. If I can get that down to like sub 1 week, that would be great, man. I mean, like I love being home, and it's it's obviously where my family's at, and it's also where I feel most at home, not no pun intended, creatively. So in all ways, I love touring, I love shows. Like I'm so excited to be up in Vancouver and down in Portland and here in the hometown this week. And I love, like, I really miss Europe. Like I've spent so much time in Europe. I love going there. But if we go there as a family, that and play a show, that's the dream,
You have SYML has super loyal fans all over the world, including Lana Del Rey.
Mm-hmm.
And she has just been nominated. Her album, Did You Know That There's a Tunnel Under the Ocean, Under Ocean Boulevard, just nominated for Album of the Year. She's not Grammy nomination. And you had a little something to do with that album.
Man, yeah, that's another surreal thing, just about, whatever the universe, or however you want to think about it. Like I've been a fan of hers for a long time, and when we got to meet, it was after she had heard one of my piano songs that she connected with, and just wrote a song to it, basically, like along with the melody. And it was as surreal as it was like very grounded and like normal, which she is. And yeah, man, I mean, I love her version as much as I love mine.
So your version is called I Wanted to Leave. Her version is called Paris, Texas, and it's on the Grammy nominated album. That's pretty cool.
Oh, it's amazing, man. I mean, gosh, as I continue in my job, or this as a job, and every little win, I guess, that happens for me and the team that believes in me is like, on one hand, you want to be like, put your head up and be like, holy, this is insane. Like, what is happening? And then but most people, and myself included on the team, it's like a heads down thing of like, let it come and enjoy it in the moment and live through it. But like, it's always looking forward.
I would guess the logical next step, and I keep hearing rumblings and rumors about this, would be a collaboration with you and Lana Del Rey.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I mostly just don't want to jinx anything. She's so lovely as she is, creative and sort of, I mean, talk about superhuman and pulling things out of ether. I think, when you think back realistically over her career, the tone that she's set for not just female artists who maybe have want to adopt the affect that she's like sort of like grown into, but artists of all walks can like relate to how cool her music has been in the ways that she's stretched as an artist. So yeah, man, I would only be so lucky.
SYML is at Revolution Hall this Thursday, November 16th. Brian, have a great Thanksgiving, great holiday season, and thanks so much for speaking with us.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. You too.